All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, ever since Tinubu got into Aso Rock, the sorrows and pains of Nigerians have greatly multiplied. After the removal of fuel subsidy, this administration told Nigerians that in 3 months, they would begin to feel the positive impact of fuel subsidy removal. But all the people have seen are negative impacts that have ruined families, businesses, and even lives. After 7 months in office, the Tinubu administration says it is still too early for the people to see the positive impact of their policies. And many Nigerians are now saying these were the same lies that Buhari told for 8 years. Empty promises that would never come to pass. But in the case of Tinubu, a top APC member and strong Tinubu loyalist, Adams Oshiomhole, a sitting senator, has come out to say no one can say when Tinubu's policies will begin to manifest positively. Yes, he came out and said it openly. And if you understand politics and a politician tells you this, you would know he is subtly telling you not to expect anything. Before I show you how he said it and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this update that has got Nigerians talking all over social media. Tinubu, governors doing their best, but Nigeria has spiritual issues. Pastor Adeboye. Pastor Enoch Adeboye, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, says Nigeria is facing more than mere political problems that require spiritual solutions. The RCCG spiritual leader, who was hosted at Kaduna State House by Governor Uba Sani on Sunday, said, "It has become more and more clearer to us that the problem our nation is facing is more than political. Our problems will require a bit of spiritual solution." Mr. Adeboye stressed, "We as a country are blessed. We are blessed with people with great intelligence. We are blessed with all manner of resources, and yet we have so many problems," Mr. Adeboye said. "And it is not as if people in authority are not trying their best. They are doing as much as humanly possible," the RCCG leader added. Then we found out that when you have problems that are beyond human ability to solve, you call on the Almighty. The reason we call him Almighty is because he has the power to solve all problems. Mr. Adeboye's comments came amid public outcry on prevailing economic hardship in the country as inflation drives food prices up. Last week, Nigerians hit the streets in protest on economic hardship in Niger, Kano, and Lagos. You heard him. Now, whenever I read comments from Pastor Adeboye about the APC government, the first thing I do is to thank God for pastors like Pastor Paul Enenche and Bishop Oyedepo, who speak the truth to power. Because Pastor Adeboye led a protest against the Jonathan administration. Now APC is in power. You see, our problem is no longer leadership, that they are doing their best, that the problem is now a spiritual problem. So Tinubu budgeting 6 billion naira for car park for senators, while you budget 5 billion naira for student loan for the entire students in Nigeria, is a spiritual problem. Budgeting 15 billion naira to build house for vice president in this kind of economic hardship is a spiritual problem. Using 1.5 billion naira to buy SUVs for Remi Tinubu is a spiritual problem, because Remi Tinubu is an RCCG pastor. Using 1 billion naira to inaugurate tripartite committee on minimum wage just to call people to come and sit down and determine the new minimum wage. You spend 1 billion naira and you say that is not a leadership problem. You say that is a spiritual problem. Look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. And this tweet here by Chime says, "This man swore never to criticize Tinubu, but he criticized Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, even led a protest. Now blame goes to spiritual issues. With all your hypocritical prayers, we are still heading to doom." And this tweet by Life Issue says, "Imagine a pastor supporting evil rulings. All religious activities in Nigeria should be shut down. Let's go back to our ancient time of idol worship." And this tweet by Dr. Chris says, when you talk, they will say you have insulted a man of God and an elder. What is this now? Did he not see the spiritual problem when he was criticizing and protesting against Jonathan? If Jesus can drink tea with him, then why can't he unravel the spiritual problem for us? Then he shared an old picture of him dining with Fashola and Tinubu. That is why all these sentiments are coming out. And this tweet here says, with all due respect, Pastor Adeboye, the joke's on you. End time prophet. RCCG is the religious wing branch of APC. Pastor of propaganda, for propaganda and by propaganda. When will the IMF be arrested? Then he shared a tweet where Pastor Adeboye tweeted, either the IMF likes it or not, I decree the Naira will rise again. He tweeted this in 2016, and since then, the Naira has been falling drastically. This is the problem we are having in the body of Christ, and we really need to watch it. Now, let us look at that video where Adams Oshiomhole told Nigerians that no one can tell when this suffering under the Tinubu administration will end. See the video.
So bad that people are suffering adversely. And that adverse effect of the sufferings and the hardship is touching the bottom line. So much that if we are not careful, people may not be able to feed. And so the question of how long it will take, because you are one of those who were vigorously campaigning for the Bola Tinubu presidency. And now that we are here, 7 months down the line, the question will be how much more can we wait? Or how much more can the people who are suffering suffer?
Well, I think you are contradicting yourself with due respect when you say, how did you put it? Something like painful and whatever. This is not a football match that is built for 90 minutes with the possibility of extra time of 30 minutes. And if there is no solution, you go for penalty shootout. You are dealing with an economy that, in all facets, has had its own challenges. Job creation, unstable currency, leakages here and there, etc., etc. Now, as to the question about whether leaders are in touch with the people, with the reality, if they were not in touch, all the talk you heard about reviewing minimum wage, some debate as to how do we deal with food prices in the short run. Should we resort back to importation? Should we insist that we incentivize our farmers and get them back to the farm and give them all the incentive they need to produce the food that we need? All of that doesn't suggest that the leadership is not at home, is not aware of the challenge that we face. I think the president is very much aware. All of us are very much aware. I am very much aware. This last week on the floor of the Senate, we debated these issues. We debated the issue of security. We debated the issue of high cost of living. And we debated the fact that we are not here to lament it. We are here to teach two solutions and fix it. Now, if you ask me how long it's going to take, I will tell you no. It's not a magic. I'm not in a position to prescribe time. But that something serious is being done, yes. That the president is determined to fix it, yes. That he has enough good hands around him who share his conviction that the economy must be fixed, yes. But when are you going to say it has been fixed? No, not a correct question. Because at the end of the day, this process, we will keep on managing it.
Now, that was Oshiomhole putting it as mildly as possible because he is an APC member. He can't just come out and say the economic team of Wale Edun and Yemi Cardoso have nothing to offer Nigeria. He can't say that. But anyone with a brain should know that any economic policy that has no time frame is not a policy. Even in life, you can't make a plan without putting a time frame on it. That is guesswork and it will fail. And that is what Oshiomhole is saying. There is no time frame. We don't know when you are going to begin to feel the positive impact, but we are working, we are working. He's just telling you so that you can use your brain to know that there is nothing on ground. This same Oshiomhole criticized the nomination of Yemi Cardoso as CBN governor. He stood up in the National Assembly and he said it. He said he has gone through Yemi Cardoso's record and all the banks he has previously managed have collapsed. He said, how do you appoint a man that everything he touched collapsed? But they went ahead and appointed him, and that is what Cardoso is going to do to the CBN. Collapse it. You see, it is one thing to be corrupt, and then you are carrying out your corruption while doing the right thing. That was what we saw under Jonathan administration. Many corrupt people, yes, but they were doing the right thing. And we saw how they were able to bring down the price of a bag of rice from like 12,000 to 9,500, 8,500 in some places. Nigeria's economy was rated the fastest growing in Africa and one of the fastest growing in the world. We were beginning to make progress before this evil association came in, and it's been complain, blame games since day one that this guy stepped in. And this is how it will continue. If Nigerians don't put themselves together and get these guys out of power, they will never have the freedom, the economic freedom, even the freedom of their lives and their properties that they so desire. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away.